again and welcome back. My name's Annie and this is my creative detour. For those of you that are new, welcome. Welcome to the new subscribers. Hi to all of my regular viewers. Thank you for always watching. Now, for those of you that are new, you might not know that for this year, I made a challenge for myself that I would do some sort of Christmas project every month and post it on the 25th for the whole year of 2025. So there is a playlist for Christmas projects on my channel and I'll link that below. But for today, I'm going to be doing some Christmas ornaments. So I'll show you a finished one. Here we go. And I'm using the Mintay Christmas Blessings. I purchased this from my local craft shop last year when it was closing down. So I got the 12 by 12 paper set. I also got the 6 by 6 and I also got the 6 by 8 backgrounds and patterns. But what I also did was I purchased 3 extra sheets of the cut apart sheet. Now, the cut apart sheet is located on the back of your title page, but when you see it in a craft store, you can buy just the cut apart sheet. And I bought 3 of these with the intentions of doing some ornaments. Now what I did was, it looked just like this, but I fussy cut all of it out and you can see that it's all cut up. And I put it into just a clear plastic bag with a piece of card behind it to keep it so that they don't bend. And I do it fairly quickly after buying it so that they're done. Like now, today, when I was making this, I didn't have to fussy cut anything. But I used almost a whole sheet to do 6 ornaments, and I will show you all of the ornaments at the end. But I will do one now with you and show you how I put it together and give you some tips and tricks on how to do it. So that's where the ephemera came from. Now the circle discs, I just purchased some round MDF board discs from my junk shop, local junk shop. And they are 8.5. Now that is in inches, just under 3 3/8. So just shy of 3 3/8 in diameter. And what I did was, you can see that this is pack 6. I haven't opened it up. I marked them and I got my husband to drill a hole in it. So I left them all wrapped up and I just marked them with a Sharpie of where I wanted the hole put. You can see that he has drilled a hole in that for me. And he said to me, how big do you want the hole? So what I did was, I got my crocodile and I punched a small hole and I punched the larger hole. And I said to him, I want it bigger than the small hole, but I don't want it as big as the big hole. And that was because when I put holes in this, I don't want any of the paper showing for the hole. So he just measured it and he drilled some holes in it. And he left it, he just drilled through the plastic and so it all held together. Now what he also gave me was a small file and I filed that down so that it was not rough anymore, so it wouldn't fray the ribbon as I put it through the hole. So that's just a small file. And he also gave me a piece of sandpaper just to rough up the surface, because the surface on these was very smooth and I wanted it to have a little bit of a tooth so that when I put the glue on it, it'll grab. So I just sanded it a little bit and I sanded around the hole so it was nice and clean. And then you can see that I have inked it just with some distress ink and inked both sides. So that's what I did to prepare the discs. Now I think that those discs were $2 for the pack of 6, and the sheet of paper I think was just under $1. I think it was on sale, so it might have been around $1, something like that, or 90 cents. So for being able to make quite a few ornaments out of it, and they look lovely, you know, like I've covered both sides of them. So for a small amount of money, you can make a nice set of ornaments to give to your friends and family leading up to Christmas. Now, you could also use these as tags by putting, a small piece of cardstock on there that then they could tear it off and then just use the tag as an ornament. Okay, so let's get started. So you can see that I have cut two glitter or champagne colored glitter discs with a decorative edge, and that's just slightly smaller than the disc size. You can see that it just is slightly shy of the edge of the disc. And then I've done two pieces of paper out of the collection, scrapbook paper, and I just picked which ones I liked. I wanted something that had a bit of a Christmas theme on it, and I've die cut those out with a stitched edge die, and I've inked the edges. And I've prepped one for the back, so it's all glued together. But there's a few things to do first. So I'm going to glue this together. I'm just using some art glitter glue. Yeah, so I'll show you all 6 at the end and give you an opportunity to take a screenshot of them in case you want to make them out of your collection. Okay, so once we have our front and back cardstock, decorative cardstock, and our pattern paper glued together, just give that a really good burnish. We need to mark the hole. So I'm just going to put that on, put the hole at the top, align it, get it straight, and I'm going to draw around that hole with a pencil and just mark it. And then I'll punch it out with the large hole, and you'll see that it's just slightly bigger than the hole that my husband drew in the MDF disc. And that's because I didn't want any of the paper overhanging. Now I'll do the same on the back. Just going to mark this with a B so I know that it's the back, because sometimes things are in different locations. So I'll do the same again. I'm just going to hold that firmly and mark it and punch it out. Okay, let's glue those on. The back, I'll do the back first. Now I'm going to put a decent amount of glue on that, and I'm going to brush it around, and I'm going to actually push it around to the edge because I have a decorative edge and I want it to stick all the way to the edge. I don't want any bits pulling up. I'll put that on the back. Line up the hole. This is a really easy project to do. Get my cloth, give it a burnish. And any of the glue that's oozing out, it's art glitter glue, so it is going to dry clear. I'm not too phased about that. I don't think you're going to notice it. Okay, so I'm going to put that upside down so that it can set a little bit while I put this together. So I've got 4 pieces of ephemera to decorate this one. I'm going to put Santa here. I'm going to tuck in this Christmas tree into here, and I'm going to put the white poinsettia and a little bauble. So that's how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to glue all the edges down because I'm going to actually put a little piece of gold thread. It's just a piece of thread that I've had in my sewing kit, and it came from my great aunt, so it's probably around about 50 years old, this. Just the colouring of it works quite well. So I'm going to take these two off and glue these ones down. Now I have already pre-inked all of the edges of these. I'm not putting the glue all the way to the edge because I'm going to tuck some of that gold in. I do want to get it reasonably straight on the pattern paper. Just want to miss that hole if we can. And I'll glue this one down. I'm so pleased that I have done this. As the year ticks away and I'm starting to see my Christmas project stash build up, I'm so pleased that I made myself do some things throughout the year, because last year my mother and I, we were madly trying to do some Christmas projects as it got closer and closer to Christmas, and we both ran out of time. We didn't have enough time to get the things done that we wanted to get done. To be honest, it hasn't been as exciting as doing Christmas projects when it is closer to Christmas, because there's that whole anticipation of Christmas, the build-up, the excitement of it. When you're doing it closer to Christmas, you're more in the mood for it. But I know that as it gets closer, I'm going to be so pleased that I did it. Now you can see that I just folded over a little bit of that thread, made a few loops, and have tucked it under his shoulder. I'm going to tuck another one up near the tree. So all I'm doing is folding over a few loops of it, cutting it off, putting some glue under. So now that I've got them in place, I'm just going to put a little bit more glue under there so that they glue down nicely. And the same over this side. I'll just let that sit for a bit. Okay, it's dry enough. I'm going to now glue this onto the front of my ornament. I'm just going to spread it out a little bit, especially around that hole. And give that a bit of a push where I can without affecting it too much. I'll just mop up a little bit of the excess. Right, the next thing that I'm going to do is put a little piece of ribbon on, and I can tell you how long I've made these. I've made them around about 45 centimetres, so around 16, 17 inches, and that's because I wanted them fairly long so that I can threadle them through, and I'm going to poke it through and then tighten it up. But then I wanted it long enough that if somebody wants to tie this onto a gift, they can, or you can tie it in a knot and then it's still long enough for it to be a ornament. Now there's two other things I want to do. I want to decorate them with glossy accents, and I'll show you with the other ones how that turns out. But before I do that, I'm just going to put on a couple of these crystals from Paper Rose Studio. Got 3 different sizes out there, so I'm going to pop some of them on. I'll pop one down here. I just find somewhere to put them. I'll probably put one on the tree and then one over here near Santa. I tend to do them in a triangle. So that art glitter glue will dry. I'll just put them away before we bump them anywhere. Now the glossy accents, I'm not sure whether some of you have used it or not. I use it quite a bit on decorating cards, especially Christmas cards. And what I tend to do is I tend to do it in the darker spots and just do a little bit of a run. I will do the bauble of his hat. So I'm just going into where there's shadows. I'm kind of drawing with it. I'll put some in the middle of the poinsettia, some around the bauble, and then a little bit along the edge of the basket, through the tree, and that's it. That's all I'll do, and I'll let that dry. Now I'm not sure whether the camera is picking up those glossy accents. I might just put a little bit on his hat, around his face. So hopefully that camera is picking it up. I'll just move it a little bit so you can see. So there we go. That's how quick and easy they are. So let me bring out the other ones for you. I'm going to leave that one and not play with it too much. I don't want to turn it over, but you saw the paper that I put on the back of that one. So let's leave him there and we'll bring out the other ones. I'll show you them individually so that you can take a screenshot. Okay, so from that one page, from this one page here, I only have, I think, about 4 or 5 different things left. One of them is the big wreath. It was too big for the composition, and the big star. But most of the other things, there's just a few odd baubles or stars that I've not used. But let's have a little look at this one. This one has a soldier on it and a cloche and some flowers and some stars and a bauble in the background. You can see that I've put those crystals on, and I've also put glossy accents on it. And there's the back of it. Now I haven't decorated the back. I've just put some pattern paper on it so that it is covered. There's that one. The next one is a comfort food themed one, and it has a jar of cookies, a lovely hot chocolate, gingerbread man, and some gingerbread stars and snowflakes. You can see that it has that gold thread just pushed in and some of those crystal gems. Then I have some paper on the back. This one is a Santa, and he is on top of a wreath. So there's a wreath in the background on the pattern music paper, and then some snowflakes and Santa. And you can see that once again I've got the gold thread, the glossy accents, and the crystal gems. I'll just show you the back of the Santa one, and on the back is a star and some decoration. This one here is a presents around the tree theme. So you can see there's a stack of presents, some baubles, a tree, and a star. All the things that happen around a tree. And once again, the glossy accents and the crystal gems and gold thread. And then there's 2 soldiers on the back. The collection is absolutely beautiful. Then the last one is a gingerbread house theme with our lovely gingerbread man and some gingerbread stars, a little bit of greenery and a star, and then once again the embellishments. And we have a soldier around a gingerbread house on the back. So like I said, I used one of the packs, a 6-pack of MDF discs, 1 sheet of the collection that I cut apart, and then some pattern paper and some ribbon, some decorative cardstock. So really easy to do, fun to make. They were quick. I've done them all in a few hours and they look beautiful. My daughter was visiting this afternoon and she saw them on my desk and she said, "Oh, Mum, they're lovely." I'm really happy with how they turned out. So please take a screenshot if you like them. So there we go. There's our Christmas project for the month of May. Hopefully you like them as much as I do, and if you do, give the video a thumbs up and think about subscribing to the channel. And have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you all very soon for some more projects. Bye for now.